intro, ooh intro. Please cut that. Anyway, Remnant dropped a new video talking about why this is so scuffed. Oh, this is so bad. Oh well, we're running with it. Remnant recently dropped a new video, why leftists midwits use cartoons as arguments. I was unaware they actually used actual cartoons as arguments. I wonder if he's being hyperbolic here. I kind of hope so, because if not, then I need to make a Blue Sky account and go see what's going on over there. My goodness, because that kind of mess is All right, so let's see what Remnant's up to.
You ever see this on Twitter? You're scrolling through your feed and you see these weird drawings of these fictional...
I have seen this on Twitter. This I have seen, where Alex Jones is cuddling up to a Labubu.
Characters holding a trans pride flag, and it shows them saying, "I support trans rights," or something like that. This fictional character agrees with me, which is really weird because you don't see this much from the right. I mean,
Labubu is super popular.
I'm just shocked to see Alex Jones pose with one. In the Candace Owens debacle going on right now, he has been like a voice of reason, which is a terrifying place to be, where Alex Jones is a voice of reason and not this hyperbolic alarm clock sounding the alarm to rise up against the globalists or whatever he's going on about these days. I love Alex Jones. Don't get me wrong, but men can get a little too passionate sometimes.
I am the voice of reason.
Yeah, and that's a scary place to be. So someone's messing up bad, over conspiratorializing when Alex Jones is getting on their case. Anyway, to his point, I think the reason for this is really kind of sadly simple. The left is way more steeped into fan fiction than the right, and the right also tends to respect canon more often. Hence why they will argue this fictional character agrees with me, even though there is nothing in canon to suggest that.
I think so.
Yeah. So I don't know what Remnant's point is going to be, but that's where I'm thinking right now. Okay.
when was the last time you saw someone on the right draw a fictional character holding something like a Confederate flag? It's very rare that it happens, but when it does, they both exhibit the same weird...
Mm-hmm. It is probably projection, yeah. The left is great at projection.
Uncanny drawings. It rarely happens. Yet compared to the left, it's a trend to draw your favorite character and say, this person agrees with me. This fictional character agrees with my ideology. Why is it so important? They pick weird random characters that have nothing to do with politics and obsess over their political ideology that they project onto them. I mean, I legitimately believe that a large percent of these people use these TV shows or comic books to guide
it really is
their real-world political beliefs.
Context there and how legitimate the lethal threat is. I do believe that. I think there's a lot of nuance. But listen, all I know is I've seen a lot of Marvel movies.
Oh, this was like a rare Destiny W.
There are a bunch of angry cops and civilians staring at him. He drops the gun and puts his hand up in the air, and he doesn't unleash the fucking Iron Man laser and cut down 300 people who are threatening him implicitly by surrounding him and not allowing him free access out. So maybe that's
in real life, if you spend a lot of time on live leaks or any other, like, you can see that where one guy throws his hands up and a mob comes up and somebody throws one punch that kills him, and then people cut his intestines out and they drag it over the street. So I mean, like, I don't know. I guess it typically happens.
Yeah, no, Vouch is
typically happening. I mean, like, there have been people that have been killed in these protests so far, and I mean, like, who's to say that you're not gonna get it? Like, I don't know.
I mean, there's been at least 20 Marvel movies. I doubt you can find that many.
Like I said, this is a rare Destiny W.
Live leak video. So yeah, I'll hint.
And to be frank with y'all, I did not come up with this idea myself. I saw it from a YouTuber named
Obito in the
and here's what he had to say.
I feel the biggest issue we're melting, lol.
That tends to happen whenever you listen to Vouch. My goodness.
Seeing today with left is something that I call cartoon leftism. Basically, most modern leftists define their politics off of cartoons and movies. If you go on Twitter right now, you can see they mostly speak in memes of...
Oh no, that means the Hollywood ideological capture is working. Let's sigh. That means that the Daily Wire actually had a point. Oh man. I like most of the Daily Wire guys, but I mean... They do be wasting a lot of money on projects that are kind of, I don't even know if under pushed. Marketing's not great.
I mean, I've always agreed with the Daily Wire about that.
Yeah, I just wish that it wasn't only them. you know, trying to build that parallel structure. But if they're going to be a movie label, they really need to start promoting their stuff a little bit better and maybe trying to get into theaters more often, because the only things I know that made it into theaters were What is a Woman in very select theaters and Am I a Racist? So I guess Matt Walsh is doing the heavy lifting for the Daily Wire. They're leaving a lot of money on the table by not doing like theater releases, but then again, I bet they have a hard time getting into theaters at all. So the situation sucks.
Character, GI robot. None of these people know anything about the ideologies they supposedly stand against, yet they know how a cartoon robot or a cartoon dog feels about them. Most of these people, when you ask them to cite a source for a claim, they'll give you a TV show or a movie or a cartoon.
Oh, those anti.
They can get a little too overzealous for sure. But you know, when AI came for the writers, they said nothing. But when it came for the drawing people, they got so mad. Got so mad because the AI can draw a little better than them. Poor AI people, or poor anti-AI people can't draw better than a computer. Womp womp. Skill issue.
Ooh. But what's worse about all of this is not only are they looking at fictional characters to decide their ideology, but they're using terrible sources that lack any true depth or meaning to it. I'll give you an example, a niche. The Star Wars community. I love Star Wars. I grew up watching it. Yet we can confidently say it doesn't have any real depth or meaning to it. You shouldn't be looking into the very
it's just entertainment.
Yet there are people out there who look so deeply into Star Wars and are obsessed over it that they form their own theories on why Master Windu has a purple lightsaber. But you want to know the truth of it?
Just watch more.
Yeah.
Why does Master Windu have a purple lightsaber? It's simple. While they're forming their own little theories and trying to read deeply into just the color itself, the reality of it all is very simple. Samuel L. Jackson went up to George Lucas and said, "Hey man, I'm playing down there in the pit and I want to be able to find myself easily. So why don't you give me a purple lightsaber?" And George Lucas was like, "Sure." And that's what
not entirely accurate. It was more like, "Hey George, can I have a red lightsaber?" George was like, "No, red lightsaber's for bad guys. Can I have a purple lightsaber? Yeah, we can work with that." That's how that conversation went. Yeah, you know.
he has a purple lightsaber. There's nothing else to it. The actor just asked, and he got one. Yet they're applying this whole deep meaning about the light and the dark side of the Force, and how Samuel Jackson, Master Windu, has some of both.
They recorded it behind the.
They did. And I think that's one of those cases where you see Samuel L. Jackson pog. It was a funny little exchange. Now, they did have to tie it into the lore somehow, and it had to do with like lightsaber forms and how his form channels the dark side or whatever, but it's like it's not like real life relevant. It's like universe building. So it's good lore writing, but you have to look for that. So all these fan sites really don't understand the basics of it. Like, yes, you must do X, Y, and Z for whatever purpose, blah, 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 blah. It's just lore. It's just lore.
At that point, why don't you just look at him and say, well, he's a black guy, but he's a Jedi. So obviously he has some of the light and dark in him. It doesn't make any sense.
Don't say it like that, Remnant. Oh, you're gonna make me wake the baby up. No, no. I get it. He's making fun of their logic, but man, come on. Don't give him the clip, dude.
All you're doing at this point is
Dark man, some dark side in him, lol.
I mean, if you want to look into the symbolism of it, Samuel L. Jackson is the one that left the hood. Anyway.
Looking into the clouds to find shapes and saying, hey, that looks like a bunny. The wind must have intentionally formed a bunny in the sky for me to see. No, it's random chance that you looked up at the sky at that moment and saw a bunny. You are finding patterns and noise that don't exist. You can make it sound just as sophisticated as Jordan Peterson when he watched the movie Pinocchio, but all you are at the end of the day is a glorified schizophrenic at best. And at worst, you're just a palm reader. And that's exactly what the left does. They go into autistic levels of analysis when it comes to these comics, when it comes to...
Why did you switch to tabs? Why'd you switch to tabs? Okay.
these movies before ever diving into their own philosophy. These people can go into deep levels of lore when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog before they can articulate their own world beliefs and why they are just. The problem is, most people just repeat buzzwords and slogans that they don't really understand or look to, and they're projecting it onto these characters.
I think they may just...
Very possible. That's a lot of Tylenol babies. Like a lot. I don't want to think about that. That's pattern recognition I don't need to be seeing.
I'm a little retarded myself.
the actual line from Alex Jones, by the way. Oh, but no, for real. Yeah, you might be onto something there, because I'm struggling here to think of the overwhelming overlap between autism and the left wing. But then again, there's also a lot of like 4chan B posters who also have autism and are very much not left wing. So I don't know. I think this might go back to the education system from that White Riders. Yeah, the guys who caught the bike lock basher. Those guys, great guys. But then we look at the video where we were talking about why writers are intentionally being like gimped by the education system, and I
agree. The education system is probably what.
Yeah, it seems to be more indoctrination than actual like education. So they're not actually. I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. They aren't helping you think critically. They're making you critically aware, which is leftist praxis. Communist gobbledygook. Yay. I'm going to start sounding like Kirsch at this rate. Help me.
That's it. I mean, seriously, if you were to look up on YouTube right now, a full university course
I swear I'm not trying to copy her,
taught to you by a professor for free, that would set you apart from 90% of the leftists you ever interact with or talk to online in terms of understanding their own worldview. You will understand.
The communist gobbledygook line is actually Donald.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah. That sounds like a crock of communist gobbledygook. I love Norm Macdonald. The world it laughs a little less now that he is gone, but we remember him and his deadpan delivery and his moth joke.
Understand it better than them, despite not even agreeing with it. Because what this shows at the end of it is these people are more fascinated and intrigued by poorly written, shallow cartoons than understanding their own worldviews. I'm not even talking about the people they disagree with. Let's forget that. They have no clue what the other side actually believes. Even with their own worldview, they have a very shallow understanding. Whereas for what's optimal, you actually want to understand both sides very well. You need to deeply look into your own beliefs and the people you don't agree with. That alone will set you apart from 95% of the people out there on both sides, much less any of these weird nerds that say my character agrees with me. But I'll leave it at that. Also, thank you so much to everybody who does support me on Patreon. You're really keeping this channel afloat. Also, a special thanks to our very charitable. These are the people who decided to go with the highest. And an enormous thanks to Void Reaper. Not only did he go above and beyond, just decided to pay for like all of the equipment himself. Like, wow. Thank you so much. We're also opening up a new Discord community specifically for us. And if you do decide to support on Patreon, we're adding new benefits, with each one of the Patreon tiers being connected to a Discord role. And if you'd like to join, the link will be in the description. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a good one.
Good for him. Yeah, great video. I kind of think we might have spoiled the video unintentionally, but I thought it was good.
You know, that might be the right thing to express them. The left absorbs and project them.
Fair enough. Makes sense to me. At this point, I just kind of think it's autism. So, you know. Indoctrination and autism. Maybe they need a little 4chan in their life. If you made it this far, go check out Remnant. He makes some good stuff. And if you had fun watching this, you know, we do these reactions daily. Check us out on Kick.
Maybe the right needs to get better at rhetoric. LOL.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
It was. And if you've had fun here, like, comment, and subscribe, and leave me the sword emote. I want to see swords in the comment. All right. Bye-bye.